What is up, Random Rider here, and I thought I'd follow up my 1,000+ mile ramble video with the why behind what I did to my bike so far, the modifications, I guess. I kind of listed them a bit, didn't really go over why. And we're riding into the sunset, and riding into dusk and evening and darkness, so we'll see how well that works in terms of lighting for the camera. So first up, we'll get the tank pad, which is right there, as you can see, on the tank. That serves an actual function aside from looking cool, although I did get it because it looked cool. But another reason I got it is, I got that specific one because it looks cool and fits the bike. It's the Super Tenere tank pad. But I got a tank pad in general because most everybody has them for a reason. It protects the tank from getting scratched up from getting on and off the bike. In terms of basically, your jacket, if you don't have the zipper guard, even if you do, or just wear and tear in that area that sees a lot of traffic, so it keeps the tank looking fresh. And they usually have a cool design on the tank pads, so it's not something that just kind of looks, terrible. It usually looks pretty cool. So that's why I went with the tank pad. It's not really a modification to help. Wow, that guy's a dumbass. It's not really a modification that does anything specific for the GPS, but the RAM mount, yes, that's how I hold the GPS on there, on this little ball right here. But you can use it on other things. Like you could have a docking station for your iPhone if you have one. I don't have an iPhone. You could have a cup holder, even music holder, like for your MP3 player or something like that. So it's more than just for the GPS, and I put it there because I want to be able to pretty much have it out of the way, and I don't want to have to be able to access it on the road, meaning I have it on the right side so I don't go for it while riding. Basically, it forces me to pick it before I go, and if I have to change it, I'd rather not change something on the move, personally. I mean, I guess I could, there's not many cars around, and I just hold in the clutch, but still, I'd rather not. Ooh, white wall tires. I like white wall tires. Anyway, so that's a little GPS mount area. Another thing about the Super Tenere, it has I guess an auxiliary port for electricity to plug things in like you would into a cigarette lighter in a car. So that's what the GPS goes and plugs into. You can plug other stuff into there, obviously, which is pretty cool. There's no reason to slow down to like 5 miles an hour over there. It could have gone a little faster, but I guess that's just me being young and restless, or reckless, not so much restless. Anyway, moving on. The heated hand grips are, I think, a great addition for me, because I'm part wuss when it comes to the cold. I don't mind the cold, but my hands get cold quicker than normal, which is to be expected from, compared to the core of your body. But also, I have a circulatory thing known as Raynaud's. Basically, blood is probably getting into the capillaries in your extremities, like your hands and your feet. So my hands can get cold quickly, and for sometimes we'll just get cold for no reason. So I plan to try and keep my hands as warm as possible in the cold weather, hence the heated hand grips. But that's not so much what I want to talk about. It's the bracket, which you can see underneath the instrument panel right here. The reason I got that bracket is just that reason. It looks a lot cleaner and a lot more like it's meant to be there than on the handlebar. And also, I feel it's a good deal safer. If the bike goes down and the handlebars take a hit, or go up against something that's in irregular shape, like against a rock or something, I'd rather not damage the heated hand grip controller unit or the wires that are attached to it. So being tucked up over there, it'd be really hard to damage that controller without severely damaging the bike to the point where it'd be wrecked anyway. So that's why I did that, or had that done, I should say. the luggage rack, which you can't see because it's behind me, I upgraded it because I wasn't planning on using the Yamaha luggage, which looks great. I heard some things about it, some good, some bad. Nothing really stating that it's terrible, but I have heard some warnings about it. And unless you're planning on using the stock luggage, well, the luggage that comes with Yamaha, I recommend upgrading your luggage rack from the hard plastic to something like a metal luggage rack. And I went with Altrider because theirs seems the beefiest. And it has like a sub part underneath it, which I'll have to show in another video at some point, that can hold something with like a bungee or with a tie down or something inside of it. So it's like extra storage. If you go with the Altrider luggage rack and you want to use the Givi Trekker line like I want to on my bike, you have to go and get the Altrider specific adapter piece for the Givi monokey system, which Altrider does sell on their website. You need that because it's a different adapter plate thing for them as opposed to the standard Givi adapter that go, not the standard, but the ones that most often go on the top. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you're going to go with that luggage rack. And I guess lastly are the crash bars, the engine guard, the crash guard, whatever you want to call it. They serve a similar purpose as frame sliders do on sport bikes. It keeps the plastics off the ground. Keeps the bike up off the ground as opposed to like damaging potential engine parts. And with this bike, the engine's low, but it's also right there, right where the engine guard is. And more importantly, with this bike, the battery is right around here, and the radiator in the same area but on the opposite side of the bike. So they're kind of exposed if you think about it in that regard. So I went ahead and got engine guards. And FYI, there's a semi-truck behind me with no lights on. Luckily, he didn't get caught at the light, or not. No, he didn't get caught at the light. Whatever. Anyway, the crash guard, the engine guard, whatever it's called, whatever you want to call it, serves that purpose. It keeps the bike off the plastics, away from the radiator hitting the ground. It just overall protects the bike, kind of like a frame slider would on a sport bike. And I felt that was definitely important. I feel it's really important for dual purpose bikes to have something like that, especially the Bearco ones, like the BMWs, 1200s, this bike, even the KLR 650s and whatnot. I feel you should have some sort of engine guard type of crash bar set up there. Because if you plan on taking them off-roading at all, you're going to increase your chance of having a spill. It's just part of the course of riding off-road. Riding on uneven ground, less traction on the ground, is going to cause it to have a potential for a higher spill. And that's why I did that. Like with the FZ6R, I didn't have any frame sliders on it. With this bike, the first thing I did, the very first upgrade I did to this bike was the engine guard, the crash bars. So that's everything I've done to the bike so far. The next purchase I'm going to get will be the skid plate. That's to protect the engine and the oil filter down there. And yeah, that's the next big thing. So just wanted to give kind of a why aside from the what that I did in the last video. So that's it. Take it easy.